Well, we've had a bit of a dark cloud hanging over this hobby for the past couple of weeks. I don't think we've ever talked about Adam the Woo on these videos because he focuses more on vlogs rather than the side-by-side still photographs like we all do for these videos. But his passion for the hobby was second to none. Of course, we can't do this video without remembering him. Ray and I thought you should go first since you knew him the best. What can you tell us about Adam the Woo?
Oh man, Adam was a dear friend. We had many adventures together, everywhere from Disney World to Universal to Canada, New York. We traveled all over the place, and he was the pioneer who quit his job, lived in a van, and went for it. And he lived life exactly like he wanted to live it. He got he was the guy. You know, he was the guy, and it's such a loss for our community, and
Yeah.
such a good friend, such a good guy.
I think go back early doors when we sometimes talk about the people that were doing the first ways that things were being done. And he put a different slant on it to me. He made it a bit more like, you felt like you was walking with him side by side. He was going round and taking you to these places, and you saw things that you wouldn't see. And it was related not just to movie locations, but anything that could be of a historical nature, maybe, or movie related. And I saw lots of videos that he's done, but one that always stuck out for me was he went for a trip in Virginia and he found a full-size X-Wing that someone had just bought, and it was in somebody's garden at the back of this house. And I would never have known that existed or known anything about it if it wasn't for watching this video. And I just felt like, as you watching that video, it could be if I was with him and there was no cameras, the conversation would almost be the same. And I think that's what he brought to it. And I think that's why he gained such popularity, because I think a lot of people could associate with that.
He was the epitome of the expression often imitated, never duplicated.
Yeah,
I never met him in person. I talked to him on the phone a couple times, but I kind of feel like I didn't have to. It was like you said, Ray, and so many others have come and tried to do what Adam did. And they would create these videos that are very informative, but there's always just this kind of standard, straightforward presentation. This is where this happened. This is where this character said this line. Da-da-da-da-da. But with Adam, there was so much life, and you could feel his excitement, and so much personality came across, and he made it so fun. I often think sometimes his videos would be just as good even without the visuals, because he painted a picture with his words. To watch an Adam the Woo video, I felt like I was hanging out with him.
his influence will never be able to be measured. I mean, TMZ, People Magazine, Entertainment Tonight, all the major outlets covered it. I mean, he was such a force.
That's insane. I think most people, like myself, still kind of view YouTube as somewhat small potatoes in comparison to true celebrities and true media. Yet here, like you said, TMZ, Entertainment covering Adam the Woo. That's really breaking the glass ceiling of YouTube right there.
There'll never be another Adam the Woo.
Rest in peace, Adam. We'll pause for silence, respect, and then we'll get to the top 10. Great. Number 10 was your number one vote. This Christmas Vacation shot from Brian Coppell. What can you tell us? What did you love about this one so much?
I'm such a sucker for that movie, and it was Christmas time. And I know that building is a historic building in downtown LA, and they only give you public access, like once a year. And so to get in there and to be able to find that spot and grab that photo, to me, was impressive from Brian.
The thing that I love the most about this is just it's one of those attention to detail type shots where you got to look closely. And when you look closely, you can see the striations in the marble. Perfect match. Number 9 comes to us from our normally our delegate from Japan, Matoya Kitamura. He's done shots from Japan over, like we've talked about him before, but he made a trip to the States, went to San Francisco, did a bunch of great vertigo shots. This one seemed to be the one we loved the most.
I don't know if he's there as a pedestrian or that's the car maybe that they're using and he's put it deliberately in that place to try to match it, and then the other car in the shot is just there, or those cars which for me would be in the way and annoying. So I just don't know if there's a little bit of creativity there and he's thought, this is perfect for my shot, or actually those two cars are in the way. It would be interesting to know.
Number 8 got a couple of number 1 votes. This was my number 1 of the month, and Ryan, our fifth judge, Ryan, he liked this number 1 as well. The thing I love about this one is the choice of shots. This is a very popular spot. A lot of location hunters do it. I myself, I've been there. But the shot that I got, as well as the shot that most other people get, is that iconic end shot of the Statue of Liberty. The thing about that shot is a lot of the rock face is masked away by what possibly might be the most famous matte painting of all time. A lot of the rock is missing and turned into sky. So you kind of have to do these visual gymnastics to really match up the details in the rock. But with this particular shot that Steve chose, everything matches perfectly. There's no work involved for the viewer. Love it. Great job, Steve. One of the basic mistakes that some people make when they come to this location is you get to the beach, like you said, you park, you get to the beach, and you walk up to this rock face, and a lot of people assume that's this. But you actually have to climb over some rocks and climb around to the other side of that rock face to come up to a second rock face. Some people make the mistake of not doing that. So if you go there and you look up and you see this rock face, you still got some more. You got to go a little further.
Still got to go around it. That's a good point.
I think you can blame Google Maps for that, because if you look at Google Maps, it pinpoints the first set of rocks as Planet of the Apes. So that's probably what throws a lot of people out. And like you said, when you first arrive there, you just assume, well, that's it. You don't realise that actually behind it, it's like a separate beach. It's sort of separated. You wouldn't see it unless you could either look at it from above or you walk around. I wondered if that's one of the reasons why they also film there, because they would have a bit of privacy. So they could block people off and so on. They could leave the sets and people wouldn't really, it's not like it is now. But I wondered if that's the case. But I just, like you said, it would be a bummer if anyone had travelled internationally, gone there, taken the shots, got home and then realised wrong beach. I didn't even know that movie existed until I saw this shot.
So mate, you change. You might be able
Both of you guys?
No.
Oh my gosh. All right, so number 7 comes to us from one of our most regulars, Brian Witt. Did this shot from Real Genius. This shot makes me so happy. I tell you what, all the things that you think about that made the 80s cool and fun, the movie Real Genius checks all the boxes, baby. That movie is right smack dab in the middle of 80s goodness. You guys got to see it.
Well, James, you were telling me earlier, I haven't seen the movie yet, but it's going to be on my list to see. But you could double dip there, right? You were telling me?
Yeah, according to Brian, this is also the same building at the beginning, from the opening of The Facts of Life.
There you have the facts of life. The facts of life.
Number 6 comes to us from another one of our international delegates. So we have Matoya Kitamura from Japan. He made the trip to California. Now we have Emmanuel Selmy. I believe he lives in Hungary, if I'm remembering correctly. Please forgive me if I have that wrong, Emmanuel. But he made the trip to California as well, went to Alabama Hills, got this beautiful, beautiful shot from Django Unchained. Love this.
Yeah, I voted this pretty high because, you could tell he had the fun factor in there. He got his girl in the shot with him. You could tell he was excited to find it. And that's not an easy shot to find. And also kudos to him for making the pilgrimage, which is about a 4-hour drive from LA to go to Alabama Hills. But I really hope he didn't go out there and just get this shot, because there's 1,000 shots in Alabama Hills that are just iconic. So that if you make the pilgrimage to Alabama Hills, do all your research before you go, because you're going to come home and go, oh my God, I missed that. I can't believe I missed this. Especially
if you live in Hungary. Number 5, another one of the regulars, Bruce Murdoch. This shot is so dang accurate. I swear you have to look closely to figure out which one is the movie and which one is the recreation.
I voted this. I think this was my number 2 or number 3 for that reason exactly. It's so good that I didn't know which one was Bruce, or which one was the movie. So I spoke with him. He did a lot of homework. He's one of those guys who want to find spots that nobody's done. And he did a lot of matchups out there. But this one was the cream of the crop for me. It was so good and so well done. And kudos, Bruce, man. And you know what? A little tip. For people watching this, go back to Alabama Hills. If you don't follow Bruce, he's thin and now filming locations on Instagram. He does a lot in Alabama Hills, so you can cut out a lot of your deep dive digging homework just by following Bruce. He's one of the masters of Alabama Hills.
All right, so what was the Tunisia alarm, Justin?
The Tunisia alarm.
The Tunisia alarm. Come on, you invented the Tunisia alarm last week.
Houdini. Houdini. Yeah. There seemed to be, before we started doing this, I'd not really seen many for a long time. And then all of a sudden, some started dropping. You're like, oh, these are really good. And then since then, there's just been to be a conveyor belt of them. And it's like, what are you going to do to make yours different for anybody else's? I know, I'll bring some Lego toys and just put them there and wrap them to shot. And it's like, boom, done.
Yeah, boom, done. Perfect. Love it. Number 3 comes to us from Heather Sutton from Forrest Gump. Now, I got a lot to say about this one because I've been to this location 4 times, hoping to do what Heather did and was unable to. This is private property. There's a wall, just like in the movie. There's a wall around the property. There's a gate. And you get there, the gates, at least for me, the gate's always closed. There are cameras on you, so the decision to try to jump the gate and just go for it, that is not a wise decision to make, because you'll be seen. Somehow Heather gets there, and the gate was open, and she was even invited in to go back and see the tree here. I've gone to this place so many times hoping to see this tree, and couldn't come away with anything, but here Heather did it. Heather, you have my admiration.
It's that rarity thing as well. It's an iconic movie. Everybody knows it. They know these scenes in the tree and so on. So to me, that would be a winning shot to get something that's quite exclusive, that you can't just turn up. You can't just take a photo of that tree. And that's kind of a bit of movie and the fact that, you just don't see it often.
Number 2 is Brian Witt's second appearance of the month. This shot from Superman 2. This is another one that I've been to, and those rocks can be matched exactly. There are details that are visible that you can match precisely, but the thing is, because of erosion, that railing has had to be moved back at least once over the years, maybe more than once. So you can see a difference in the path that the railing takes has changed, despite the fact that some of the rocks are perfectly matchable. But having said that, and the fact that we know that the railing has changed, I think Brian's camera is exactly where it needs to be for this particular shot.
Yeah, I mean, the composition of that is perfect. And this to me is where you get the double wins in the hobby and just seeing nature as well. But who's not going to go to Niagara Falls just to go to Niagara Falls? And you could probably do that and then think, oh, by the way, I remember Superman was here, so let me just take these shots as well. And
okay, so before we get to number 1, we have some honorable mentions as usual. So Rain's number 1 pick got the honorary bump to number 10 since he voted at number 1, but the true number 10 would have been another Bruce Murdoch shot from the 7 Psychopaths. Continuing down the ranks in order, number 11 was Jesse Hosh. 12 was yet another Bruce shot from 7 Psychopaths. 13 was Kuba Zhata-Borshkovsky. Oh my goodness gracious, please forgive me for butchering your name, Kuba. I'm sure I did. 15 was another Steve Dahlman shot from Body Heat. 15, David Mills. 16, Glenn Whalen. 17, Natalie Chiarlo. 18, Jesse Hosh again. I kind of wish we could have talked about this one. This shot's fun. 19, Ash James Robertson. And 20, Matthew Bostic. a few other really good ones that caught our eye. Scott Rail, Tommy Phillips, and Gary Cornyn Snow. So number one, this month's gold medalist, Polly Carr.
This is, again, about context. If you remove the movie reference and you said nothing to anybody and you showed them the photo of just you at this location, everyone would say, that's a fantastic building. Where is that? You start a conversation, you want to know more about it, and you just make that picture interesting because, like you said, you have to get that angle right to bring the roofing to make that image, because you're losing it otherwise. Otherwise, if you're just walking about, it would just look probably like other buildings that you'd walk through. And there's a reason why Hollywood goes to these places for these shots, because they're going to look good on camera. They're going to add to the context of what's happening in the movie and so on. So, and this is the sort of thing that I would be really happy if this was my shot.
If you do happen to be an Adjustment Bureau fan and want to do these shots, Paulie here did this massive batch. Like it's like he almost did every single shot of the movie. So if you're interested in these shots, be sure to go to the Top 10 Movie Locations Facebook group, and Paulie posted this whole batch that you can use to help you find your way. But I guess this one was the one that really stood out to us just because of that upward angle, just because there's something different about getting that low angle looking up.
So guys, I hope you guys had a good holiday and a happy new year. But I think it's only appropriate that we circle back to Adam DeWoo, such a tragic loss in our community, and end this episode by saying this month's Top 10 episode is over.